For years, Jack has been set up as a man of science against Locke's man of faith. But lately we've been seeing Jack take some rather unusual leaps of faith of his own. And I'm wondering, how has his character changed, and where do you think he's going to end up?
He's radically changed in that respect. I mean, faith has won out.
What did he say to make you such a believer?
The whole logic versus, faith thing has gone out the window for Jack. I mean, it almost killed him. He was broken and suicidal, and his only way out was to confront the thing that Locke had been telling him all along, is that he really was destined to go to the island. He was not meant to leave. He has to go back, and he has to complete what destiny has in store for him there.
But we're supposed to go back.
Because it's our destiny. How many times are you going to say that to me, John?
How can you not see it? Of all the hospitals they could have brought me to, I end up here. You don't think that's fate?
What's the most misunderstood thing about Benjamin Linus?
Pretty much everything about Benjamin Linus is misunderstood. But it's understandable because he is written in an ambiguous manner and played rather ambiguously. I think the mystery of his character and his mission is part of that larger mystery that is the landscape of the show. And if we tinker with those mysteries, we might end up with no show at all.
It's him. He's the one who's trying to take Aaron.
No, you don't understand. No, Jack, she's right. It was me. Sorry.
Now that Aaron's out of the picture somewhat mysteriously, I'm wondering, what was Kate's impetus for going back to the island?
All I have to say about it is that it's probably the most significant thing that'll ever happen to her.
If you want me to go with you, you'll never ask me that question again. You will never ask me about Aaron. Do you understand, Jack?
Yes.
Aaron was the one person who was able to take her from the selfish, running convict who cares about nothing and no one but herself, to settling, to being still, to sacrificing everything and anything for another individual. And I think we saw pieces of that in her love for the different gentlemen on the island, but nothing like what we've seen of her as a mother.
If there was an alternate universe where neither Jack or Sawyer was on the island, which character do you think Kate would have hooked up with? Would we have seen a Kate and Bernard super couple?
I, as Evangeline, would love that. Sam is just the most wonderful man to work with. Sam, who plays Bernard. Well, I think it's, she's tough, and so is Saeed. He's kind of a hardcore man. I think that they were hardcore enough to keep up with each other. Honestly, I don't know. I already think that there's just way too much to keep up with two, let alone trying to throw anything else into the mix.
I'm wondering how the character of Ben has changed from when you first joined the series in season 2.
Well, I wouldn't say that Ben has changed an awful lot. I mean, Ben seems to be a finished personality.
She's changed drastically. I mean, I think there's almost no ways that she hasn't changed. She, just through being a mother, has become vulnerable and has become open and has become very still in a beautiful way, in a contented way. And I think seeing her back on the island should be interesting because she's going to be thrown back into an environment where she needs to be guarded and strong and jaded and a tomboy to survive. Mm-hmm. But she's become this soft, feminine, docile, lovely lady. So I think it'll be fun to see and to play those two facets of her and, sort of bring them together.
I'm wondering how the character of Jack has changed from when you joined this series in the first place.
In the plane crash, I think, a lot of the people that were in it looked up and they saw a guy who was activated. He's a doctor, a surgeon, he's running around, he's helping people, and so I think that, they kind of elected in their minds in that moment that Jack was the guy that was going to lead them off this island. And but Damon and I, we always talked about how we didn't really want to play the guy as the knight in shining armor. We really didn't want to play sort of a classic sense of the hero. So that's where he started. He's ended up very far away from that.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
Which part?
Hurley,
Saeed being on the same plane. How did they end up here?
They bought a ticket.
What's one scoop that you can share with Sky One viewers about where Jack is going the rest of the season, no matter how small?
Jack is really, now that he's back on the island, he is laying in wait, and he feels it's really an interesting place for him for a bit, where he's wondering, how am I going to know when I've dropped back into my fated destiny? How am I going to know what that is? And something does come where he feels absolutely 100% certain that he's found the thing that he is meant to accomplish on this island.
Kate is, for the first time probably in 5 years, has become an incredibly decisive woman. She is standing on her own 2 feet and has her own agenda, and that's all that matters to her.
Ben answers to more people than anyone ever thought.